Hey kids, Mark Miller here. Welcome everyone. Interestingly, got a new UI today here, courtesy of Twitch, and one of the interesting things about this UI is that the chat pop-out doesn't work anymore on my machine, and it shows me this error. So I can't have a floating chat pop-out window anymore. And I'm not sure what's going on with that. I get this lovely little guy here, and over on the right side, description of the errors here, or at least some indication that an error has occurred. So anyway, that's it. I'm like a little bit because of that. I am slightly disabled here in terms of how I might otherwise do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag over the whole window with everything plus the chat in it off to the side so I'm a little less disabled. And we'll see how that works. Okay. Thanks everyone for being here, and let's kind of pick up where we started yesterday. Let's see what we had here. We created D&D Map Spike is what we did, what we created. And our last, we were at this point right here where we were analyzing the data coming down from over here at Don John Fantasy Dungeon, where we created a random dungeon and we downloaded it and then we parsed it. And then the next goal was to try to figure out the rooms. Yeah, I'm not seeing... I am not understanding their algorithm for getting the room numbers, for calculating the room numbers here. Notice they start here. This is room 1. And it's almost as if they're doing it randomly, is what it kind of looks like to me. I'm not seeing any kind of pattern. Here's room 1. Room 2 is right there, right above my finger, right over there. And it doesn't, I'm not seeing any pattern that can help us figure this out. It doesn't, I was thinking, well, maybe it's coming from like area and they're going, in that order, but that's not the case, because you can see over here, room 21 has got not very much area in it. So I think it's random. The downside to it being random is we have no really great way to go from here to the notes that are generated as well. Although interesting, I'm not seeing the notes for the rooms here. Why don't I see that? What's vert hex? What is that? Oh, I see. It's just the way the hexes are oriented. Interesting. Okay. Weird that we're not getting it. Is it because I had need to ask for it? Details, basic. Is that it? Yeah. So, things like also the quarters. That data is not in the TSV map when we download it. So, I kind of wanted to also use this because I thought this was kind of nice the way they were kind of building these pieces in here. And I don't know, I guess I was thinking I could copy it and then paste it in. Yeah, there's also the, you know, the possibility of just saying, well, we're going to take the rooms and, well, shoot, because we've got things with entries here that we kind of have to match up. All right. So room 22 has 3 entries on the south. Let's go see if we can find that room. Yeah, it does. There it is right there. 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I really wish the TSV data had this other data in it, because it would be so sweet to grab that other data. Maybe that's something I wonder if we can request that, and then that kind of would help us out in terms of improving on this design. All right. So here's where we were. We had this other layer that was up that we had built randomly. I don't have a screenshot of it anymore. But you know what we could do is we could just generate a new one and download it. Let's do that. Let's go back. We'll generate something a little smaller so we can see everything. Map style, dungeon size, small, construct. All right, here we go right here. So let's download the TSV. Did I click it? Yeah, it looks like I did. And now we need to get to, where was I putting the maps? I was putting the maps over in my assets folder for the game. And here we go. Call this the Pit of Alan the Necromancer. Copy that to the clipboard. Let's come over to our D&D spike. Let's change this to selection increase paste. That. Let's comment this out. And how many rooms are we expecting to find in here? Can we just scroll to the bottom and see? 23. So we're expecting to see 23 rooms when we run it. Let's run it. I think I got my breakpoint in here still. Uh-oh. Could not find the file. The Pit of Alan the Necromancer. Did I not put a TXT at the end? I didn't. Okay. Let's do that. Let's start up some music here. We don't have Rory for a while. I think Rory's going to come in here in about 45 minutes. Hey, Will. I think I might have time later this afternoon to talk to you. I know this is weird to schedule this way, but I'm going to reach out to you when I get a break later this afternoon and see if it's a good time to talk. Can't you figure out the rooms by the entries? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking we're going to do, right? We're going to kind of use some clever deduction coming down here and just assign them, right, to see what this data says here. So I've got a room here with a north entry and 3 south entries. So I put that in my list and I try to fit them. Is what I'm going to try and do. And if I can get everything to fit, right, then I'm like, okay, I got it. And then I feel like we can make use of this, what otherwise seems like a pretty decent random dungeon generator. And then just, that way we can just quickly crank out rooms. And the other thing is, I think we're going to make these look really gorgeous. Let's just see what the different looks here are. Okay. Crosshatch. Nope. Too much noise. Yeah, I think we can make this look really good. Yeah, I want to make these look gorgeous is what I want to do. Yeah. Okay, this is just all noise, it seems like. Yeah, I want this to look gorgeous. and have that sense of a thematic kind of sense. You're just changing, I don't know. Okay, this is just a mess. Okay. All right. Glacial. That's maybe not too bad. It's not too bad. What's Asylum? Okay. Okay. It's kind of a feel to it. Speaking of maps, let me bring up a couple links I saw them. I thought were really interesting. I thought this was crazy interesting. Instead of building like one tile at a time, it's basically given me a 6x6 grid to build. And what I can do is I can come in here and I can create all kinds of non-rectangular rooms. Hold on, try one more time. There we go. Super interesting, right? Very interesting that I can come in here and so easily build these pieces. And I thought that was kind of cool, right? Very fast for creating a very specific kind of dungeon. Frackberg is here. Frackberg. Why haven't we seen your, we saw Will Bennett's. Clark is raiding with a party of 18. Clark. Brian Clark, thank you, buddy, for the raid. Welcome, everybody. We're in the middle of a spike here. We're creating a Dungeons & Dragons mapping system. It's going to not only show maps, it's going to be able to put Dungeons & Dragons players on the map and help execute and enforce the rules of Dungeons & Dragons. For example, area of effect spells. I can cast a spell there, and the map will help the engine understand who's close in the area, who might be impacted by that spell. So that's what we're doing, and we're looking at existing technology that's out here, map-making tools. Frackberg escaped today. You totally did, Frackberg. Looks like maybe we've somehow lost it. Will Bennett was here, had his entry, but we've lost yours. I don't know why that is the case. Kind of makes me want to play it. So the software has its own laws. How are the players verified to not be cheating? To be not cheating? Well, because as a player, you can only move, for example, 30 feet. In Dungeons & Dragons, the map can enforce that, right? So if your speed is 30 feet per turn, and you take a turn and try to move more than 40 feet, it won't allow you to do it. It'll say, sorry, you're too far. Something along those lines. So the mapping is something needed for targeting, especially for area of effect spells. It's something that we need and this is all for a live Dungeons & Dragons stream that we're building. Speaking of the live Dungeons & Dragons stream, I suppose I should grab let me go get our D&D app. We'll start that up just so you can see a little bit about what's going on and how this is all going to integrate. Yesterday's show, by the way, available video on demand, was, I think, an excellent show. I was sleep deprived, so you didn't have me at my normal super energetic self, but we cranked out some great, amazing code with zero prep going in terms of what we were going to do or how we're going to solve a problem. And we got to a point, I'll show you what we built in a second here. Let's initialize some player data. I think I'm going to need to refresh. It looks like we got the refresh is already working on that. It looks like we might be okay. Let's see. Let's refresh back overlay here. That'll get the clock working. Let's refresh just refresh the front overlay, and I'm going to refresh the dice layer. And in a second, I'm going to let's see. Say I'm a player and I modify my map just with a hex editor. Well, I don't think you're going to be able to modify your map because the map is not going to be in your hands. The map is going to be outside of you. BPMCT says hello, waves hello. One Love IPFFs says hi, hello to you. RGB Beard Pog says Tactical Pew. Yeah, so I don't think One Love IPFS, you're going to be able to modify your map. The reason why is because the map is going to be in the control of the Dungeon Master. You'll be able to see it and interact it with the software, but you won't be able to make changes to it. Also, what we're building is for a show. It is not for wide distribution, so I don't have to worry about people cheating so much along those lines here. Let's see here. What do we got? We got a reload of the pieces in there. Let's let's do a reinitialization of the player data. Give you a sense of what we're building for any folks who out there are new. Not made for the internet. Right, exactly. So I'm not really concerned about protecting it. I've got, everybody who's playing it wants to be there playing it. So let's see here. So here you're seeing some of the live graphics that are going to come over while we're playing the show, while the show's running. So this is for a Dungeons & Dragons stream. You can follow us right now. We are not live broadcasting yet, but we are on the verge of doing it. We're not far away. And it's a comedy Dungeons & Dragons game. And it's right out here at twitch.tv/dragonhumpers. And so let's do a couple things here. Let's say, so Ava, we're going to say she's going to cast Wrathful Smite. And there, so you can see the special effects coming in over here. There's the spell right up there, what's happening with that. Then she's going to pull out her greatsword. And so these effects are happening live right in front of the player. So Ava's face is right here. And then she's going to roll her attack. And because of the Wrathful Smite and the other special effects, you see those taking place there. And so that's an idea of what's kind of happening in here. I think I've got the ability. Yeah, here's a test. Notice the dice have different damage effects on them. Here's an example of all the damage types rolling at once here. So you got Radiant Force, you got Piercing, you've got Cold, you've got Acid, you've got Slashing, Bludgeoning, Cold, or Thunder damage, sorry, right up there, and Necrotic right over here. Fire damage right above me. Right? So that's kind of an overview of what's happening. So we built everything you're seeing here on the show, including this super cool ability to show all the spells from Dungeons & Dragons in here, along with calculated fields based on the level in which we're casting it. So here, Blight is a level 4 spell. You see right up there, the target takes 8d8 necrotic damage. If I want to cast it at spell slot 6, it automatically calculates it for me, right? So we've got documentation that's automatically calculating the spells. That's how sort of thing. Sex Positive asks, what about the stare damage? What are you talking about, Sex Positive? What are you talking about? All right, we're gonna reset our overlays here. I'm gonna shut down and restart them because something has disabled them, and I'm not sure what it is. We're going to get out of here, and then we're going to restart our fanfares because, we like to hear who's out there. Oh, is it because I'm debugging? No, it can't be. Not from here. That wouldn't make a difference. All right, we're going to get those fanfares one thing at a time, kids. Let's get those fanfares going. Boom, boom, boom. And what do we got here? Are we back to here? All right, start up the overlays one more time. Here it comes, kids. Fun fact, because Microsoft closed the source code on original Xbox, no one can use the major feature they bought their $600 device for. That's internet gaming. Mine is System Link, but the entire section in matchmaking code is RIP. It's dead. That's not good. Okay, Mr. Announcer Bot is up and running. Let's go back to the D&D app, get it started again. Boom, here it comes. Let's re-enable the, I'm going to refresh the Dragon Front overlay. I'll refresh the overlays here. Refresh the dice. Clear that stuff up. And we're going to focus on, today we're focused on the map editor. Let's see, Dungeon Master, wait, Dragon Back overlay. Refresh that, and I want to refresh the drone game as well. So we'll do that. Where's our drone game? When I refresh this, we're going to lose our music for a second, and we'll get it back. Boom. There goes our music. That's okay. It's reloading. Let's see what we got here. Can we initialize the data? Looks like what's still not done loading. I've got a scroll bar to the right on the stream over here. Is that the drone game? I think it's the drone game that still hasn't finished loading. Yeah, that's the drone game, it looks like. I may go give it one more refresh on it because I've seen in the past this will kind of accelerate it here. One more time. Another more positive fact, Microsoft is releasing massive amounts of source code lately. True. After they bought GitHub and leading up to that. Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, looks like there, the drone game is now officially refreshed. I'm going to initialize player data again.
He's in the house.
We both just did the music command. I'm not seeing it come up and play here. Why not? Why wouldn't that be up there and giving us the music? Come on. I don't think another refresh is going to do it. Try one more time. We'll send the music command out. If that fails, I'm going to shut down and restart the overlays one more time. It feels like it could be a signal R issue. If only, yeah, haha, beat you to it. If only the bot would cooperate. There's sick positive. Look out! Those are our fanfares, kids. You're seeing some of those running by right now. Do we have music working now? There we go. Sweet. All right. Fanfares are working. Music is working. Not bad. Speaking of fanfares, Janiscu 7's fanfare is close to being done. It is, brought to you by Overkill Productions. This fanfare has been super interesting and fascinating to create. I've learned a lot in creating just this fanfare. I've got particle effects in this thing, 3D in this thing, puppeteering animation is in this. Yeah, and just loads of special effects. It's like about 18 seconds of like over-the-top special effects, and I think it's funny. So not done yet because I'm like right now putting the particle system pieces in on it. So I think it's going to be next Tuesday when we'll see it, but I think you're going to love it. There we go. Will Bennett's out there. Anybody who has any questions, go ahead and ask Will. Let's go take a look at what we built last time. Here it is running. So this is what we did last time. And so this is, it looks like we lost the map again. That was the map we just created, right? This is the map we downloaded and created. And we were building code that analyzed where the rooms were. And that's what we did. So let's do this one more time since we, One Love IPFS says, my dream is controlled. Rocket controlled Twitch IRC bot. Yeah, you can fly your own drone too. Exactly. So you should be able to do the drone command. Is that working? Boom. Yep, there it is right there. If you want to get rid of your drone, you can type in drone and then a -1 like that, and it'll blow it up. All right, so let's download yet another map because I want to create one more map here. So we're going to go back to Don John. No, thank you. Let's go and put those details in there. Let's construct it. That's big, but okay, we'll do it. And we'll download this TSV map. And so this is the borrow of elemental horror. Ooh, scary. There it is right there. We're going to save that out. We're going to close down our running app. This is currently built in WPF, but we're going to have this thing running in both WPF and TypeScript. And now, let's go to our app, our Dungeon Map Spike. Let's go comment, let's duplicate this. Selection increase, paste, comment that out. So now we're loading the borrow of elemental horror.txt. We built all this code yesterday. Put a breakpoint in showrooms. Nothing's happening there. I just want to make sure my found rooms count is equal to the number of rooms we've got here, which is 31. So I'm looking for 31. Come on, kids. Bots are getting a bad name lately because of the social media thing. People just understood how useful internet bots can be. Build bots for Earth. All right, here we go. 34. We got 33? This said 33. No, this said 31. Could it be that there are rooms that are not labeled or that don't have notes next to them? I really wish they numbered the rooms. Where would our room algorithm be caught up in this? Here, let's do this. Let's pop this over here. I got 34 rooms. We'll draw them in a second to see where they are. Let's compare the maps side by side. See how they look. So these vertical lines here are the room segments. We don't need to draw these anymore. We're just using those to try to find the pieces, the other rooms. I think what we have to do next is we have to draw all the rooms to see, in fact, where all of them are and compare them with the other. We'll stop drawing those vertical spikes and we'll draw the rooms. So let's write that code now. Showroom segments, comment out that. Showrooms are here. So now we're going to do a for each through all of those rooms. The room, let's see, what do we want to do here? Let's go look at what we did in showroom segments. By the way, I got CodeRushed installed inside of Visual Studio. We are dogfooding that live while we write code here. Worldwake is out there with us. Worldwake, welcome to the show. Glad to have you with us. When I go to a banking website, why do I have to talk to a chatbot before I can talk to a real person? Well, economy, I think. Prior to that, Worldwake says, hold on, why do chatbots exist? Is Ask Worldwake. Worldwake, probably because of sceners back in the early internet days who were pirating stuff. Yeah, I think schemers is, I think maybe what you're meaning, sceners, I'm not sure what that is. But the real reason for centralized ML bots is because it automates jobs away. That's right. Will Bennett says, walking is for noobs. Okay, showroom segments. What are we doing? We're going into Canvas Children Add. We're creating some sort of canvas thing, setting its left. There's the rectangle there. Let's just copy all of that code. All right. Let's do something like this. Paste this in here. Now, set left. Room dot start column. Times pixels. Okay. Now, I also need room dot start row, which I bet doesn't exist yet. Don't worry. We'll fix that. Let's declare it with the default body. Put it right there. And then we're going to say, what are we going to say? I think we're going to say return segments of 0. I'm okay if I get an exception here if there are no segments, because then, you know, we have a different problem. And then we're going to just say the start row. Because all rooms are rectangles, the start row of that segment is the start row of the room. Okay? So we're going to do that. And then we're going to say our height is equal to our room.end row minus our room.start row. And we're going to implement end row just like we did start row. I'm going to use CodeRushed to duplicate the line, change this to end row, duplicate the selection rather, and I'm done. Okay? And is that it? I want to change this to -5 actually. And I want to call this I'm going to call this room expansion. Like that. And just like that, room expansion. And let's do a minus whatever the room expansion is here. And the top, we're going to also subtract that. And the width here is going to be equal to room.width, which guess what? We don't have. Well, wait, we've got right column. Yeah, we're going to build that in. So we're going to say room.width, and then we're going to say room.height down here. So we'll create these in a second. Like that. So let's declare height. And we're going to say this is going to be equal to return end row minus start row. Like that. That's my height. And we want to do the same with width. I'm just going to come into height, and I'm going to do that same trick I did before. I'm going to duplicate the line. Let's get rid of that. And do we have a field hanging around from our last thing we built? No, it looks like we don't. So select the selection, hit Shift-Enter, change this to width. Like that. And this is going to be, what is it, right column minus left column. Start column. Should I rename start column to left column? There we go. Better. Okay. All right, so now we've got our width and our height, and we are doing that. We're doing a fill for the room. Let's change the color of this. I don't know, I'm feeling teal for my room color right now. All right, there's my teal room color, and then we're going to add it, and let's see what happens here. We'll see what numbers we get inside of here. I think it'll work. Let's run it. All right, so here we go. I need to add, when I'm calculating my width and height, I need to add that expansion piece that I want to do. Looks like my width is off by 1. Let's go do that. Let's fix that. So this is going to be this plus 1. And this is going to be plus room expansion times 2. Like that. And instead of doing a fill, what if I made this a stroke instead? Whoops. Stroke. And let's get the stroke thickness. Let's try that. Does that work or no? Do I have to pass in more parameters? That should work. Why is it not? I don't even get this. What am I doing wrong here? I can't assign it here. What's my error? Stroke thickness over here is a double. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Let's run it. See what happens now. So we should outline all the rooms that we find. Whoa, we've got a problem. Oh, look at this. This is why we're getting more rooms. And also here why we're getting more rooms. Because this longer one is breaking up our algorithm as we're going across. So we need to fix that. Right? For rooms that don't have, something like this breaking it in, our algorithm is just fine. It's nailing it. So let's fix that bug. Let's see if we can figure out how to fix that. So where is that? Segment matches. Shows room segments. That's going to be, we wrote this yesterday. No, it just matches. Here it is. Who's calling this? All right, if segment extends, so if it matches, great. Here's where we need to fix. This is where the code fix is going to go. If last segment contains the room segment, whatever this is, then we got to change everything to match that. Again, this is if we're saying we're going to live in a world where we have only rectangular rooms. Because I'm trying to understand the difference between, in the map, between a hallway, which is this, and a room, which is this. So this is a hallway right here, right? That's kind of what I'm deciding and defining here. Because from the standpoint of organization, I want to be able to have the Dungeon Master identify and call out different rooms and call out different corridors. And just from the standpoint of building a user interface for that, I want to be able to have that easier to build. So that's kind of what's driving this effort here. So I'm going to say if last segment contains the room segment, then well, hold on. Let's put a pin in this for a second. How's this code used? Only in one place. Segment extends existing room. Yeah, there are two scenarios. There's one scenario where we already have a height established, and the next segment goes longer. That's scenario one. Scenario two is when we have a long segment, and the next segment is a subset of that. Those are the two different situations. In both cases, we need to go to the shortest segment. And we need to adjust everything we've found so far to also be that shorter segment. That's kind of what we need to do. So let's see where this is used. I think I don't want to touch any code outside here. I like the simplicity of this code. So I think I want to work inside here. Segment extends, if segment extends it, boom. All right. So that means I'm not going to touch this either. But I'm going to create a second one. Wait, I got a better idea, I think. I don't think you have to change any prior segments. Well, we have to set what the bounds are. Do you want to do that at the end? Is that what you're thinking? Yeah, you know what? You might be right. Find the shortest one, and the shortest segment wins in the room. Yes. Or maybe a different way of looking at it, the shortest top, and the max top position and the min bottom position out of all of them are the winners. I think you're right, Will. Let's do that. So that then means this code actually simplifies. Which means this now becomes is next to, is adjacent, and is adjacent is no longer matches, but we're now checking to see if there's some kind of overlap. Codebase Alpha, is that Codebase Alpha is here? Codebase Alpha, what is happening? I'll give it to you. Yay, Codebase Alpha. What's going on here? I am not liking the new Twitch interface. How do I close that stuff down? It's just like noisy as crazy heck. I got an emote thanks to Codebase Alpha's subscription. Sweet! Thanks, Codebase Alpha, for that. Welcome. I'm going to be manually triggering the fanfares this morning, it looks like. You need some science of great UI. Yeah, I'm a little bit on that. I wish I could just hit a button in the team. I'm in the teams, If I had godlike powers, that would be among the powers I would select. Is I hit a button and now my voice is in the room, a booming voice, and I'm like, guys, pay attention. Here's how we fix it. And I just go through and I say, here, this is too noisy. This is too much. Move this over here. Whatever. This sort of thing. Sorry, kids. I know I'm chewing in your ear. I'm chewing my ice in your ear. Okay. So now we want, where the heck was I? Segment extends, is adjacent. That's where I'm trying to work out, right in here. So is adjacent. We're basically looking to see no, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. Ah, man. We need... I think we are going to need to track the top and bottoms and adjust all the links of those. And I'll show you why. So here's segment one. Sorry, there's segment 1 right there. Segment 2 is here. Whoops. And then we have these two segments here, because this is starting another room. And this is also starting a room. Right? We want to properly identify this room and this room. We do not have code that can do this yet. We need to split up. When we hit here, we need to say, whoa, nothing's matching with all of those. It doesn't contain all of those. So split up and create a new room right here. And then if it overlaps, then we're good. And if we have something less than it, Let's duplicate this over here. So let's say we have something like this. Well, we've got to identify that as the room. That's the room. Hold on. Let's do something here. Let's do a shape fill, no fill, shape outline, weight, boom, boom. All right. Now let's do this. Let's do... All right. So there's room 1. We have to be able to find these rooms. And we're almost at a point where I think we're going to need to create some test cases here for these particularly hard to find, challenging rooms is what we need to do. Okay. So we need to be able to find these, right? And our current algorithm is not going to be able to find these. Our current algorithm is going to say, whoa, that's not the same. These are different rooms. But we need to know that this is a hallway and these are rooms. And that's what we need to do. So as we go through, if it doesn't quite overlap, we need to adjust all the ones to the left so we know that this is no longer part of the room. This first segment needs to be smaller. Or alternatively, maybe we still can do this without adjusting along the way, but we do need to at least identify this scenario right here, right? Where this guy comes along. I'm going to mark these in a slightly different color here. And when this guy comes along, right, that we need to split when we hit that scenario. We need to split and create a second room. And what about this scenario as well? Yeah, what we've got to find is the shortest part of the room so far, and is it contained in it? So the room needs to know how tall is it, what its dimensions are, and then is this contained in it? If it is not, but if it is adjacent to the last segment, we split, which is this scenario and this scenario. See if we can write that code. So it's just the max of tops of the current and room and min of the bottoms of the current and the room. In the second case, you can go back at the end to adjust the segments. I don't think I have to do it at the end. I have to do it while I'm collecting to adjust the segments to the min, height, width, which we'll have at the end. Here's what I'm thinking, right? Because if I'm in this scenario, right, well, both of these scenarios are the same. If I'm here, these two segments right here are part of this room that we've been collecting. But now when I get to this point, I need to essentially duplicate this segment, and now it needs to be part of this one here, as well as part of this room that we're in the process of collecting. That's what I need to do. This segment is duplicated, and I need to do that while I'm collecting. That's what I believe I need to do. All right. Slightly mind-blowing to turn this into code. So let's see if we can figure out how to do that. So let's see. Segment extends. Are we adjacent? Then segment add. Boom. This is are we adjacent to the last segment? I think there are a couple things we can return from this analysis. Let's just list them out here. The first one we can return is is contained or maybe has overlap. Has overlap with room. Overlaps room. Overlaps any part of room. Overlaps room. There's one. The other one is falls outside of room. Falls outside room. But overlaps last segment. These are the two important states to return, I think. And then actually the other one is outside room. Those are the three. ZB is out there. Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons. That's what we're doing. I was going to create something D&D related with Python. Gave up though. Yeah. You know why we don't give up? Because we're using... I'm armed with a crazy amount of ignorance, kids. I have no idea how hard it's going to be, so I don't give up. There's no estimation of workload. I'm just go and go and go and go. It's insane. Okay, so what are we going to call this? This is going to be the segment. I'm at a loss for great names here. I had other colors work in the way, so I'll get back to it eventually. All right, ZB. Excellent. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shut down and try restarting one more time. I'm not sure why we're losing apparently losing, I don't know if we're losing our signal arc connection or what, but I am going to shut down overlays one more time and try to restart up our engine, and we'll restart our music because I'm noticing Will's trying to communicate with me. We missed Codebase Alpha. I had to play his fanfare by manually. Right now I'm working on network fundamentals, and it's boring. I just want to program. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I totally hate doing those kinds of things that I hate doing. All right, reloading. D&D app. Rerun that. Going in, we're going to reload the drone game. There's a refresh there. I'm going to refresh the Dragon Front overlay as well. There we go. That worked. Yes, I think you missed my last comment about the second case. I saw it. I just didn't read it out loud, maybe. In the second case, the first segment in the bottom room will be wrong if you don't go back to adjust. Yeah, I think we're going to have to adjust is what we're going to have to do to figure this whole thing out. We're going to have to do some analysis as we go. Yeah, I would agree with that. Let's get some music going. Did the music not work? Oh, because we're not done loading. We're still loading the drone game here. Okay. Let's go back to our overlays. Oops, sorry, not our overlays. Our D&D map spike. So this is going to be segment position is what I think I want to do. And instead of asking the question, does segment extend, I want to instead ask the question, I want to say get segment position. That's what I want to do. And then we're going to return a segment position. And then if it's adjacent, then we're good. Now we want to ask the question, if last segment, oh yeah, remember I wrote this code yesterday and I was like, I know some people won't like this, but I support it. And now I'm already changing it here. What I'm talking about is this was a Boolean function that returned true or false, but it did something as well. And now we're refactoring and we're getting rid of the did something. We're taking that outside and putting it outside of this. So we are not going to do segments add room segment here. We would need to do some additional testing here. We are inside the room. Now we want to say if overlaps room or is adjacent to room. Is adjacent to room. Maybe more than like this. Room. Yeah. So we're going to call it adjacent to here. We're going to declare this. See, does music work now? There we go. You can skip a song by dropping a meteor on the boombox if you want to. Okay, now we need to compact all the segments, get their top and bottom. And I'm almost thinking I almost want to segments add. I'm feeling I want to make this do I want to make it private? Because I'm adding over here. At the very least, let's do this. I want to restrict access to it. Then here we're going to say segments dot add. Call this segment. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we've isolated access to this. I'm just looking at this and thinking about changing this to creating a class instead, because I'm not a fan of this. Let's do that. Call this segment analysis, like that. And we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and keep segment position, but it's going to be those two. And then we're going to create a Boolean overlap slash segment. And then segment position is going to be property as well. Like that. And then our function is going to return one of these. So let's go ahead and we'll move type to file there. Jump back. Move type to file. Get that one out of there. And now let's come back over here and return. Do I have it on the clipboard? No. Segment analysis. Is that what I called it? Yeah, that's what it is. Okay. So now we're going to return some segment analysis piece right here. So we're going to say new segment analysis like this. And we're going to say segment analysis dot overlap segment. No, we want position. Let's just make that the default value. I'm going to go ahead and initialize both of these just because I like to explicitly put that in there so that somebody reading the code can see what's going on there. So segment position, outside room. Okay, so now we're going to do that. Then we're going to say return our segment analysis. If it's next to it, then we're going to segment analysis dot position is equal to overlaps room. And if it's is adjacent to, so this, oh wait, that's not, we're not quite here yet. This means, actually this is the wrong one. This is overlaps last segment is equal to true. Right there. Down here, overlaps room, else it's equal to the other one. It's outside the room. Wait. Yeah, that's right. Because this is the rooms. This is the rooms calculation of this. So let's return the segment analysis. Here. If the last segment is adjacent, if we are not adjacent to the last segment at all, yeah, then we're not part of the room. So I think that's good. So we have to add after this, get segment position. Let's go look at the code here. Uh-oh. What's happening here? Yeah, I think we need to rename this. Just trying to look at figure out the simplest way to write this code that's easiest to read. Jetsam is coming in and no fanfare. Why are fanfares broken today? What is going on? Why are fanfares working? Not working.
Awesome!
Oh, did he come in? Oh, yes, he did come in. Okay. Sorry. I did not see that, Jetsam. You got it. My bad. I was looking at some problem. I saw evidence of earlier problem and concluded incorrectly. Not pleased when I find out I do these things. Come on, brain. Work better. Okay, so I think the code looks like this. Get segment position, declare a local right here. Then we want to come in and say, well, let's see. If segment position dot position. Fanfares are working.
Is in the house.
Silly Dev. So if it overlaps the room, then we want to say room dot segments dot add. No, we want to call room dot add segment. That's what we want to do. Oh shoot. But what's the segment we're adding? It's the one we're passing in. Right there, sorry. Okay, like that. But guess what? We do not want to return true. Because I like trash. No, not to Oscar. Grovosaurus, why? Why Grovosaurus? All kinds of crazy things happen on the show. Yeah, Genesco 7's fanfare is going to be here on Tuesday. I think it's highly unlikely that I'll miss that. I've been promising for a while. But I'm also like, it's got to be perfect. Phenomenal, says Jetsam. Is that fun? Yeah, I love that. And guess what? I don't think I'm going to get sued. So what? Here's another scenario where we need this. Let me duplicate this, move this over here. Let's now move this over here. And we've got this scenario right here. And put this one and move this here. Where we're collecting two different rooms. And then we get this. We want to add it to both. Right? So that's what we're looking for there. We're looking for, we have to keep going. So make sure we get the room counts right. Okay, so segment position, it overlaps the room. Then we're going to add the room segment. Okay, good. Now, wait, is it enough? Maybe it might be simple here. Hold on a second. Get segment position. We have to implement this as adjacent to. So we have to come in here and I think it looks like this. Get top. Like that. Sorry. Top is equal to get top. Like that. And then we're going to have the bottom equal to get bottom. Like this. And then we're going to implement these. And then what we want to do is we want to say, sorry, not is adjacent to. Last segment is adjacent to room segment. Oh, shoot. Okay, is adjacent. We need to change this code too. We need a start row. So basically we're writing code that basically looks for, hold on, let's duplicate this slide. I feel like I've done this code before. And it's never been intuitive how to write this code, but I'll show you what we're going to need to do. We need to create.
Mark.
Yeah, what you got? Understand the combining in the top room with the segment. The combining in the top room with the segment. Well, I'm not done writing it yet. Are you talking about? Wait. You're talking about this diagram. I don't understand. Isn't the case you just put covered in though? Isn't the case you just put covered though? It might be. I don't understand the combining the top room with the segment. It doesn't seem right. I think you're talking about this. I need, when I'm collecting this, if I'm collecting this and this segment has to be added to two different rooms, this one and this one. So I need to that's kind of what's going on there. If that's what you're asking about, right? As I'm collecting rooms, this needs to be added to both of these. I need to split them. Okay, hold on a second. I wanted to show you let's do the overlap. Let's take care of that. So we've got, to detect on the overlap, we're basically looking at scenario like this, scenario I suppose like this, scenario like that. This scenario like this. So does that cover all of them? Yeah, I think that covers all the examples. So in this one, I think what we're comparing is this bottom end point against this top point. That's what I think we're doing. Let's see if this works. So we're comparing this against this. If this is greater than that, and this B is less than, is less than the other B down here, which I'll give you in a second. Here, let's do that. B. And I think this is true for all of these. So if B...
Dude, check out the chat room.
Well, I think I'm getting there, but I want to get it in my head first. I think I'm going to get there. I don't think I'm necessarily overcomplicating it yet. I think the part that's not simplified yet is the translation of the code yet. But I think that in order to calculate alpha overlaps, this B has got to be less than this B, and this A has got to be greater than that A. And that's true for all of these combos here, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, in order for there to be overlap. So that's what's happening here. We're comparing... okay, so back over to... I got to get to this one. Is adjacent to. This is adjacent is wrong. I want to fix this code here. So I want to say now, if start row is greater less than, my starting row is less than my ending row, and so start row of 1 is less than that, and my compare room start row is less than end row. I think this is the new truth. No, the ABs are not correct. Compare the top, and bottom. No, I disagree. Well, I'm talking about just to find out, the question of finding out if this is overlap, if there's any union on these two. In other words, watch, as I move this with this B, I have union until now, when this B is greater than that one. See what's happening? And now, alternatively, here, let's take this one as well. I have union until this A is greater, is not over there. So that's what I'm trying to write, is that code right now that identifies whether there's some union. That's what is adjacent to That's the code I'm writing now. Okay? I'm totally with you with regard to the mins and maxes. I'm about to write that code for the room. That's right up here where I do get top and get bottom. I'm going to do that code now. So I think this is going to work, and I think it's going to make sense to you momentarily. So get the top. This is where we want to find the max value of all of our segments that are so far in the room, part of the room. So we're going to say max top, like that. We'll set it equal to 0. And then we're going to iterate through all the segments, room segments. And we're going to say room segment dot start row is greater than max top. We're going to say max top is equal to room segments of start row. Like that. No. All right. And then we're going to come out here and we're going to say return max top, like that. What does it look like now? Any better? No, still not. Okay. 0, no overlap. Or am I thinking about it wrong? The max of the tops, mins of the bottoms. Okay, so there's my get top. I'm going to duplicate this, and we're going to call it get bottom. We're going to come in here, change max top to max bottom. Start row is less than max bottom, or min bottom is actually what I want to call this. Then room segment is equal. Oh, I want to not look at the end. I want to look at the end row here. And return min bottom. Okay. Then what we want to do here is do essentially the same code. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I'm like, treading water here. Who knows if this is right or not. But we want to do essentially the same kind of logic here, which is basically if my top and my bottom, like that, and compare room segment right here. I think the code looks like this. So if my top, hold on, let's look at this. We'll look at it from the code standpoint and see if it works. If my top of my room is less than my ending row of the segment, the top of the room is less than it. Yeah. And the bottom of the room is greater than the starting row of the segment. Yeah, then I'm adjacent to the room. That looks like it's working to me. Okay. We'll see in a second, right? So there's my segment analysis. And then we come out of here. And now we need to come in and say, okay, if it overlaps room, then we add the segment. Hold on, what's going on here? Segment, add segment. Okay, so we're going to add the segment. So far I think we've done nothing different. If we just run this, we should see the same results. Well, actually, with one exception. We're not exiting here. What do we got? Interesting. It looks like it's worse. Why would that be worse? Let's change the code to be what I think is actually should be. Yeah, that shouldn't make any difference. We should still see the bug. It looks like we put a bug in here, so let's look at it and see if we can find the bug. Yeah, so we've got a bug. Get segment position. Let's create some test data. So floor, floor, floor. I hope tabs are coming in here. I think they are. Floor, floor, floor. Floor, floor, floor. Yeah, I want to create a unit test project out here. That's about time we did that. Whoops. I hit enter with that F right there. Map tests. All right. Can I rename this? Rename. All right. And since we're doing this, we need to create a core, a map core project. So let's go ahead and do that. Call this map core. And let's start bringing some of our low-level classes down into the core. Delete that. Let's change the change the namespace everywhere. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking I just did this. Let's actually change this. Let's change it to just map core. Need a namespace refactoring? You know what? We might actually have one. Well, I think we do actually. But there were so few of these classes, I was like, let's just do this. I wasn't invoking it. Plus, I've kind of, once I started. All right, here we go. So yeah, I think you just hit F2 on it and do that. UI elements, looks like we need to, ooh. Let's change this to object. And change this to data. Wait, actually I don't want to do anything yet. Because I want to make sure I reference the map core project here. So let's do that. Map core, like that. And there's my object right here. Let's call this data. Hey Karen, how you doing, baby?
I'm great.
Yeah? You great in every way?
I'm
Perfect.
perfect in every way.
What are you looking for?
What do you mean? Why do you think
You look like you're looking for chocolate. There's no chocolate hidden here. You coming in? Uh-oh, she's coming into the show, kids.
Always chocolate.
Here she comes. There she is right there. She's coming in. You gotta get a little bit higher. Hello. Hello, everybody. That's Karen. I took the chocolate, says Will Bennett.
No, Will, I'm seriously, he always has chocolate on his desk.
No, I don't. You know where it is? It's downstairs in the closet to the right as you face the door. That's where I have my massive chocolate.
There's a stash?
Yeah. Everything is, I keep a stash of everything above everybody's eyes. Nobody can see it because.
That's true. Our world ends at 5.5 feet.
Yeah.
All right.
Surly Dev says, how are you doing today? Sex
Is that
positive.
for me?
Yeah, that's for you. Sex positive.
I'm excellent in every way.
No?
Yeah, not in every way. I have a lot to do. Today is my kids' project presentation, so I have a lot to do. So
Yeah, we got keto chocolate. Yeah, we're all over the place with that.
No, you're all over the place with it. I think it's not a good idea to eat a lot of keto chocolate, but Mark eats them like candy.
Because it's candy.
Oh, yeah, that's why.
Because it's candy, and I always have to be eating because I'm like, all the time.
They know this. Excellent in every way.
Is this Mad Max Fury Road?
Oh my
Was
gosh,
that in
is
that?
that
That's a
my
great
secret?
movie.
Is that-
XL809 is out here.
XL809, thanks for outing me as Max from Fury Road.
Hey.
Now everybody knows.
This is Mad Max Fury Road. I don't remember that. Mad Max Fury Road is one of my favorite
So good.
movies. The editing and the colors, the cinematography are really well done.
And the poles.
So
Right?
it-
Isn't that the one with the poles and the
yes,
fighters?
yeah. It's like as if Cirque du Soleil, met Fast and the Furious or something like that.
Disturbing breastfeeding machine in that movie.
Yeah, there's not everything is
Not
awesome.
everything. You can't win them all.
Can't win them all.
You're gonna drop a few balls when you juggle.
Surly Dev says I may just start a 48-hour fast. XL809 says it was the medic guy that cesareaned the dying mother in Fury Road.
Yeah.
He
I
said
remember
excellent
that
everyone.
too. There was a lot of maternal health care concerns in that movie.
Yeah,
And
but editing was great.
I did go to the butcher, by the way. We have tons of meat in our
Yeah,
house.
Surly Dev, if you live close by,
I'd cook you a chicken.
you can stop by. And if you want to come to, you want to hang out and visit us, bald bearded builders out there. I can't wait.
Bald bearded builder.
That is.
That's a fanfare you should make.
I think that you know who that is. I think that's Michael Jolly. He came in. I think he's changed his name. He came in with the using the I'm gonna hide my identity, secret identity. I think I may have just outed him. Cirque du Apocalypse, says bald bearded builder.
Wait, he tried to hide his identity and you outed him.
Yeah, maybe it just happened. I've been doxxed. You've been doxxed, buddy. Yeah. Oh, speaking of getting doxxed, Karen is our built-in dox machine for our
Just
family.
ask me. My social security number is.
Yeah, stop. She takes pictures. Here I am working hard on my taxes, in a high-res camera over her shoulder. Here I am at the corner of,
This and this.
3rd and
I
Main.
wait for the bus every day.
Every day at 3 o'clock I'm here. Here's a selfie of
I
me.
am very open with personal information, and Mark
Yeah.
Miller is less.
Yeah, she
open.
live shares her position on Facebook at all times.
My mother's maiden name.
Yeah. Yeah. She doxes us like crazy. I can't.
My first
I am
school,
not-
my first dog, where I was born.
Yeah, mother's.
What do you wanna know?
Yeah, she was sure. This says is her mother's maiden name right here.
That's what I have.
That's like I don't
And my social
understand.
security number's on the back.
Yes.
So it's yours.
So a map engine, this is something that consumes that generated by another map and does something with it. So that's what we're doing. We're going to use, so that's what we're doing right now. We're taking those pieces in and we're going in and saying, where are the rooms so we can get more data, more information in it. That's what we're building right now. So sneaky MJ, sneaky.
Was it me who missed a bit
Michael
of the
Jolly.
chat? He said you missed a bit of the chat. And I'm
Did
like,
I?
Oh, is there something I needed to know?
I don't know.
Have you?
Maybe.
Maybe they're outing all of your secrets. And I need to
Not
know.
really. Groversaurus was here. That was so awesome. It's absolutely one of my favorite fanfares right now.
I wanted to name my son Grover.
So this does things with a map made by a generator. Yeah, and we're going to bring this in. We're going to incorporate it into the Dungeons & Dragons live streaming game that we are building. So we're going to be able to put a map in the background. It's going to look gorgeous. And we'll have rooms and we'll be able to see our positions. All of that stuff is on there. What do you guys think about the new look? Michael Jolly, what are you thinking? What do you think? I wondered where your stream had gone, TMJ, when my chat logger broke. Did your chat?
Oh, sometimes your chat logger can break.
Yeah.
And nobody likes a busted chat logger.
Yesterday, this morning, I was talking to you about how I forgot to check for null, and Karen's all like, "Oh yeah, you should have
I
checked."
can't believe you didn't check for null.
Yeah, go check
Rookie
it.
mistake.
I'm a kind of a fan of the dome, says Bald Bearded Builder. All right, a rookie mistake. All right, we're saying goodbye to Karen. This is like Sesame Street. How when, right? It's just like Sesame Street. They pop up out of the ground. All right. Of course you are, TMJ. All right. Let's see what we're doing here. What happened? Oh, I'm creating some test cases now. Is what I'm doing. So do we have our reference? I think we've added the reference. I think we're not compiling because we need to add a reference to the map core. Okay. We're going to go throw this in another file. Let's see if we run right now. Just see if we should get the same bugs. Okay. Same bug. Okay, so let's create some test cases. See what we get. Map tests. Unit test 1. And we're going to come in here, we're going to say, okay, so here's our test map right here. And then we want to go to the map core. Where did I put load map? I think I put load map out here. So yeah, there's some code that we need to move down. So what are we looking at? Manipulating the map like Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri or Civilization map editor, raising or lower, cropping, pasting, rotating, or is it just going to take tokens models on top of the map? Well, let's start taking a look at some stuff. Show you some of the things. One of the things I was looking at is this, which I really like. It would not be hard to build an isometric map using the data that we're grabbing from our Don John map generator, which is right over here. So if we come in here and we say, let's change our details to basic and then say construct. And in other words, we could take this and build something that looks like this, right? Complete with doors, windows, all of this stuff. That would be kind of cool. So that's one way of dealing with it. This, by the way, also has support for showing multiple levels, which I think is kind of cool. Notice the stairs or the ladder going up to up here at the top, right? Little hatch in the top. Kind of cool. I like the detail here. Yeah, so we're making essentially an importer and then an editor after it. So we're going to import it. We're going to be able to throw stuff on it. So we're going to take advantage of essentially what this is doing, and we're grabbing this data, build ourselves a map, label the rooms. That's kind of where we're going. And I took a step backwards by breaking stuff, but that's okay. I think we'll take a step forward in a second. So I want to grab this, extract all of this into its own method. This is going to be get the rooms. That's from a map array. Take a look at my last comment about the segments. That's all you need to both decide if it belongs to the room and to create the room segment. What'd I miss? I think I see it. It comments about 0. Hold on. So just calculate the max of the tops, the mins of the bottoms. If 0 or negative, don't add. Otherwise, add a new segment with the top and the bottom. 0 or negative of the height, bottom minus top, or just check that top is greater than the bottom. Okay. Well, I kind of got it, but I don't have a sense of how that's connecting what we're doing. And Janiscu7 is here, and you have arrived. Excellent, Janiscu7. I know you were hoping that I'd be done with your fanfare today, but I'm not, Janiscu7. Your fanfare, I think we'll be done on Tuesday. That's what I think. It's really close. I was like, I could have gotten it done today, and I was like, I really want to put a few more finishing touches on it. So I'm adding particle system pieces in it right now. So it is not done yet. So belongs to the room and create the room segment. Here's my contention is I think the code is really close to being done in terms of deciding if it belongs to the room. I think I've got a small bug and I think I'm done. So let's go down that path and we'll see if we can get there. I want to get some test cases here and we'll look at what's happening at a low level with simple pieces and do that. So here's my get rooms call. Why isn't this static? Why isn't this static? Can this be static? I think it can. I'm going to say yes, which means this can be static. Find rooms, which means this could be static. Although we've got showrooms here. That's okay. Wait, what is happening with find rooms? Oh, did I extract something that had the same name as something that was already there? Let me undo this a second. Yeah, I did. I need to nip out to the supermarket and buy a birthday present, then to my nephews to drop off said birthday present. So I'll be listening on mobile, but won't be watching. Okay. Surly Dev. Thanks for hanging out with us. All right, so I wasn't quite paying attention right here. There's my extraction right there. So we're going to call this get all rooms. Okay. Now we can start going in and making things static, I think. Static here. Actually, let's inline this, actually. Where is this? Inline method and delete. Load map. Yeah, I think I'm kind of in here. I'm okay with all of this. Now what's going on here? Build map array. I want to make this a parameter. Is what I want to do. And I think I can now make this static. All right. Then get all rooms. I want to make this static. And find room segments in column. Make this static. Good. Find rooms. Let's inline this. Let's make this static. All right. So now we have get all rooms is being called from our load map. And we've got build map array. I want to reorder these parameters here. I want to put spaces first. Like that. Okay, so now I want to start taking some of this stuff and grabbing it and moving it down over into another class in the core, which I'm going to call Map Engine, I think. I'm going to call it that. So there's build map array right there. Let's do the same thing here. And do it there. Just get all rooms. And then I think we need to bring these supporting pieces over, these static pieces here. This one. And this one. Whoops, not in room, sorry. Thought it was in main engine. Oh wait, maybe I was. Maybe I'm in the right spot. I just didn't realize. Yeah, I'm in Map Engine. Okay, I'm in a good place. And then let's move this to its own file. And what other pieces do we need? Segment works with existing rooms. Finish rooms. Yeah, it feels like all of this needs to go down. Let's take those, put it down in Map Engine. Get room. Right there. Okay. Better. 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 We're not calling showroom segments yet. Okay. So, back to our room test. What do we got in Map Engine? Why don't I see Map Engine here? Oh, because I'm not using... Oops, that's not going to compile. I think I need to calculate our spaces. We need a way to grab the spaces. Okay, I want to put this, move this as well. All right, we're going to create a class called map. All right. Let's do that. I thought Rory was going to be here. You're right. We haven't seen Rory. I thought he was going to be here too. Well, guess Rory's not showing up. Now we're super sad. He might have told me he wasn't going to be able to make it. But we'll look for him tomorrow. Hopefully everything's okay with Rory right now. Okay. Wait, did we not take get lines and bring it over? I thought we brought get lines. Nope, we're still in main window. All right. Maybe I don't want to make this change just yet. I'm going to change the name of this, I think. Yeah, I'm not liking that either. Let's do that. Happier now. Okay. Can I nominate Will to be the official Rory stand-in? Did your genre Rory's work? I didn't see him. You did crying Rory's. Yeah, looks like they worked. Okay. We are still refactoring here. Pulling all this stuff out. This piece I want to take after... Okay. Let's move this class to its own file. Load new space. Looks like we're missing that. Oh, but we have this code. Hold on, let's go look at what's happening in non-new space. We're going to have to move this outside of it. What did you do wrong, Miller? I can hear 6 positive slamming those plates around. I think she's washing dishes. Just downstairs. I'm in trouble? I'm not in trouble. I'm pretty good. I'm feeling like I did really well. No? Still in trouble? No? Not really? All right. Well, digging for the chocolate, says Jetsam. All right. Stay focused and break through here. The map array is a place where I think we can work with it here. So what's interesting is on new space, if space is equal to F, what I'm trying to figure out is build map array. That goes down into the map engine. Passing it the row and column. Wait, how do I get the spaces? I'm getting the spaces here when I reset. Let's build map array, add to them. Nope, it's expecting, where am I adding to spaces? That's kind of need to find that little bit of code first here. Where's my new space created? here in this call to get floor. Ah, I see. So get floor. Get floor used to be called over here when we encountered, it's right here. That's where that code was. So we need to get that code out of get floor. We need that. We're going to come back to this in a second. So spaces add. This is the data that we want to connect with that space. I'm going to pass it a big fat null for now. Like that. Okay. Then later we need to do this. Wait, hold on. So when we add this type, right here, all right, so what we need to do here is we need something that says get let's try that for now. We'll stick it here. Otherwise, we're returning none. And I'll add more here later. Wow. Maybe this. Now we got to get rid of that. Now, after we get out of this whole thing, here's where we want to iterate through all the spaces. So we want to say map dot, do I have access to spaces? I do not. Now I should have access to it. Okay. All right. So I think that'll still work. Showroom segments. Okay. Getting closer. Map. Rooms. Oops. No, what's going on here? Okay. Karen, can you hear me? Do you need me to give you a ride? That's in like 15 minutes, 30 minutes? Give me like a 15-minute warning. Okay? Okay, sounds great. All right, got about 30 minutes to go. Found rooms. All right. Let's rename this to rooms. Like that. Should the map care about how many pixels per 5 feet it has? I'm not convinced it should. Are we at a point where we can run, where we're compiling and we can run? Okay. So here's what we got so far. Not bad. Now we got to find the rooms. And I think if we do the show rooms on here, showrooms being called, it is. Are we at no found rooms? Set a breakpoint there. Run again. See what our data looks like. I'm not being called. Oh, load map's not being called. Oh. Is map load called elsewhere? There it is. Okay, so we need to move show rooms over to that other location. Actually, we need to call load map from that other location. All this goes into load map. Okay, feeling better. Let's try it again. Oh, here we are. 81 rooms, so we know that's definitely wrong. Well, what's going on here? Some of these don't look so bad. Oh, it's because they're drawn in the background. Yeah, they're drawn afterwards instead of in front of. Yeah, let's change the order and then we can see our 81 rooms that are all wrong. There we go, put that over there. There's our problem. Okay, so let's go after this first bug. What happened in the code we added that went from here that made this one seem no longer adjacent to that one? It's as soon as we get 2 in the list, which means the logic here is that the oh wait, well, let me do one other thing. I want to take map and move it down into D&D the map core. Like that. Does our code still work? I think it's going to still work. Yep, still works. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I'm already concluding that it shouldn't be here. Should I call it a square? Yeah, I guess I can call it a square or space. And that is going to come down and impact me here. Like that. So just in those two places, the width and the height. But I think I need a left and a right. Do I need that or not? I am not going to take it this direction yet. I want to get something else fixed first. So I'm going to say, I'm going to undo this. Actually, before I undo this, let me copy that. So I want to indicate per 5 feet. Set that back to 20. Come down here. Pixels per foot. So that'll be the direction I'll take it in, but I don't want to do it just yet. Okay. Some white space on either side to emphasize it, so I can come back to it. Okay. Now we need to go back to where we were before on the adjacent. It's in the, I think, Map Engine. So get segment position appears to be failing. So let's see if we can create a test case for just that. We'll come back to this one in a second. All right, start row. Let's make it 10. End row, make it 12. And the column doesn't matter. We'll do that. Segment 1 is that. Room segment 2 is going to be at fine, like that. And then we're going to say room segment 3 is that. Good. And then we're going to say, where was get segment position? I forget who had that. That's in the room. It's in a room we're already maintaining, is that right? Okay. So let's create a new room. And let's set its start column to 0. Then we're going to say room.segments.add room segment 1. Add room segment 2. And then we want to call room.getSegmentPosition on room segment 3. And let's get the good naming here on this. Let's rename get segment position to get segment analysis. Maybe just analyze segment. Did I not hit rename? Okay. Then what are we looking for here? Whoops, this wants to be 3. Segment analysis. Overlaps last segment, so we're going to say assert true on that. And then we want to say its position. Overlaps room. So I want to say assert equals All right, so let's test. Let's run that. I'm expecting this to fail because that's kind of what it's looking like it's happening here. Oh, we did give a... Sorry. All right, one more time. No test found for the current filter. Really? What are you talking about, no filter? Failed. Okay. Okay, so it's not overlapping the room, it's outside the room. So that's kind of where we thought the problem might be. Let's go figure out what's going on in Analyze Segment. I say we just step into it. Let's debug it. Here we go. So this is the cool thing about the debug visualizers. We're right in here and it's coming in telling us that is adjacent is true. Sweet. The cool thing about this is that it's checking for side effects and it just sees that there are no side effects here. So it's able to come in there and access that, right? And in order to verify no side effects, it's got to go in into start row and say, is it just a simple getter setter? So it's actually very cool what's going on here. It will not analyze it if it thinks there might be side effects. Super cool. Overlap / segment is true. Is adjacent to. So this is the problem. This is coming back false. So our top and bottom are here and here. What? If I got these reversed? The top is 10, the bottom is wrong. The bottom is coming back 0, but it needs to come back. That's the problem. Let's go into get bottom and go take a look at this. Step through that. Set next statement. All right, what's our logic problem here? If my end row, which is 12, is less than min by... Oh, this is my problem. My initialization here. I was close. All right. Close, but clearly not thinking when I wrote it. All right, so let's come back here, set next statement. This, I think, is going to give us much better results. There's my min bottom is 12. Now we got a true result. Now we run it. I think our test case is going to pass. It passes. Now let's see what happens when we run the app. Way better. Uh-oh. We got some problems here and here. We're not doing the split like I talked about before. And what is going on here? Oh, because we need to split. Yeah, actually we need to split here, right inside there. That's where we need to split. That's the first split. Any other shapes that are problematic? Yeah. my take on it is that
Unbelievable!
how did I get the unbelievable to play? I'm not seeing any update to the chat window over here. Says chat pause due to scroll. Interesting. I don't think somebody in the chat room did it. If it is, my chat room's not being updated. And I don't think I hit the button because it wasn't up on my Stream Deck. All right. So we need to solve this problem right here, which is similar to this problem here. Well, kind of similar. Maybe this is the problem to solve first. Let's go figure that one out. Let's create a test case for it.
Is in the house.
Hugo, welcome. So start row is no longer, this part's partially wrong here. Let's call this get top instead. And end row, let's call get bottom. I've got a hunch that this is going to maybe fix some of those problems we saw. Vyoger Ilepsha 95 Chittig. What a name. How are things? I've seen your CodeRushed Twitch channel. Things are good. Hugo's here. Time to end the show, says Will Bennett. How have I been? I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good so far. I got to break in a little bit, about 10 minutes. I'm out of here. Yes, that fixed this problem here. Okay, what are we left with? What are our problems? Oh, it fixed this too? Did it really fix all of the problems? We don't have the split code though. The split code is a special scenario that I'm pretty sure we're not fixing. We got to fix that. That's crazy. We just fixed all the problems with that, off of that hunch, at least all the problems in this map. But I contend that this problem still exists. We need to build this. So let's just kind of set some numbers here to guide the creation of a test case here. I'll call that, I'm just talking about the row position here. So I'm going to call that row 0. I'm going to call that row 3. And let's go call that row, I don't know, 7, 8. And then we'll call this row 16, like that. So those are our rows. And then across, we've got column 1, 2, 3, and 4, or 0, 1, 2, and 3. So let's create a test case for that. We're going to create these segments and build these and see what we can do for our test case. Actually, we can start maybe with something simple here. Why isn't this? Oh, because I'm running. Okay. So we can kind of build this. 1, 2, 1, 2. How can I do this? I think I can do this. I'll just start it like that. Then that way we can, everything will line up. And then take out one of these, and F, tab F, tab F, and essentially this. This is what we want to be able to parse. So we want to get 2 rooms out of here. One that's a 4x4 and the other that's a 3x3 room. That's what we're looking for in this test map right here. So can I come in and say new map? And say map.load. Load data. And pass in the test map. Let's go declare that. Where's our existing load? There it is right there. It's not quite what I wanted to do, sorry. Wanted to do that, and then I wanted to pass in this to that. Like that. That's what I'm looking at right there. Get lines from file. And then I want to extract this. To that. And then I want to come in here and I want to say, call this map data, like this. I want to come down here and I want to say, split lines. And I think, really, it makes more sense to say, hold on, I'm modifying this. Ah, not what I wanted. Get data from file. It's just going to do that. And then I'm going to say load data right here. Three minutes. I might come back and finish this. I'm like, I have to go. All right, so let's see here. Load data, which is going to then, in process lines, build the map array and get a collection of all the rooms. Do I need... Yeah, I think this also similarly needs to be exposed. Why didn't that encapsulate field? That's what I want. But why? Oh, I see. It's, sorry. Auto implement property and make it private. So now I've got my map array and my rooms. So now I don't need any of this. Wait, what's going on with get all rooms though? Like that. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Let's set a breakpoint here. Debug test. What do we got? None. All right. We got a whole bunch of nulls in here in the map array. Load data, test map. All right. Kids, we're going to do part 2, and I think we're going to do it today. I'm interested in solving this problem, and the music's inspiring me, and so here's what I think I'm going to do. We are going to send you over to who's out there in the live coders group that's streaming right now. Let's find out who is out. Where are my followers? Oh man, they've changed the UI and I can't find, not my followers, my who I'm following. Yeah, UI is not looking great to me in terms of this, at least in terms of discoverability, trying to find who I'm following. If I take this out, like I was hoping that would work. Used to have a button right up at the top I could click on who I was following. Pudding shows up. Pudding. Why you always dumping on me? Streaming tools. No, no, no. This is Watchmark trying to figure out the brand new UI that has no discoverability built into it, or maybe not. That's unfair to say. But I'm like looking, it's got potential. Yeah, you're getting good at this, aren't you? I'm just shutting down. I got to raid. I'm looking to raid, and I can't see who's streaming live, and I don't see how to find that anymore. What is going on? It appears to be no longer in my dashboard. My stomach's rumbling. I wonder why. Yeah, get some food. I think I'm coming back. Raid C. Okay, there we go. CLW. Thanks so much, Hugo. I've not rated CLW in a while. We're going to do that right now. Hugo, you're perfect. We'll figure this out later, and I think I'm going to come back. We'll come back a little bit later in the day. And thanks. Say hi to CLW for me. And kids, I think I'm coming back a little later. Look for that. Talk to you later, buddy. Bye.